I'm hopeful for the future in my role. I think I'm very good at the role. I just think that we need to fix up some things that don't, and it'll make me in response better at my job.
hmm Hi everyone, welcome to 1v1. I'm joined today by Leaf with G2 coming off a 2-0 loss to 100 Thieves. So Leaf, what do you think went wrong in today's game for you guys?
In my opinion, I think we were really panicked. I don't know if it's like the crowd because a lot of them are rooting for 100 Thieves, and I don't know if it's just like match pressure because it's still early for some of us into like VCT matches, but it just didn't feel like ourselves. I think we lost a lot of clutches on bind, and it's just hard to win when you lose rounds like that. But we just didn't have the game in our control. It felt like, and that's like on us.
How did you feel about your own performance? It seemed like you kind of picked it up in that second map. You had a few nice plays toward the end.
I'm not happy with my performance. Obviously, like I lost, but like defense bind, I literally felt like I didn't even play the game. Like it literally felt like I was just in impossible scenarios where like even getting one is like miraculous. But split, it felt a little bit better. But yet again, it's like sometimes there are just rounds where I feel like I didn't play, which is like nobody's fault. It's just kind of how the game goes and like those type of comps. But it is frustrating. Um, like out of game, because you always want to think you can do more, but sometimes you really can't. You just do your job.
For sure. So I know that you guys have undergone a roster change, with Icy coming in last week, and it seems to have allowed you to move over to more of a sentinel or even controller role. So, kind of, how are you feeling about that change?
I'm really confident about it. I think this game is going to be a really big like proving point to us, like in terms of what we need to fix and stuff. Hopefully. Um, but I'm hopeful for the future in my role. I think I'm very good at the role. I just think that we need to fix up some things that don't, and it'll make me in response better at my job.
hmm How does it feel no longer being the new guy on the team?
Um, Feels fine. I know a lot of people in the scene, so it doesn't really feel like I'm like singled out or anything like that. Even when I join a new team, it's just kind of just getting used to like the actual in-game stuff, not really the out of game. So
hmm And what do you think Icy is bringing to the team?
I think he just brings a little bit of stability. Like we don't need him to be super, like inconsistent on and off and stuff like that. And we just need him to do his job, which is entering. And I think he's doing a really good job at it. I think that we kind of just, as a collective, kind of just let each other down, in my opinion.
hmm So you obviously joined this team, a few months ago, and then Icy just recently. In your opinion, how long does it really take to kind of gel as a team? Because I know that fans will often kind of overreact after a loss, but how long does it really take for a team to really come together in your opinion?
I think it really depends on like the system, like of the team, and I think it depends on the player that they're putting in. And there's a lot of factors. I'd say like 2 months, give or take, is like where you'll be at, where you have like a decent map pool. But like really, you really never know. Like it takes a while for some teams to really like blossom, and then some teams just come out of the gate and just have like a honeymoon.
For sure. um, so you mentioned how you were familiar with the guys, and you've played with a lot of these players in VCT before. I noticed on Twitter you seem to be pretty close with Zellsis.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that he's like your closest player in the closest friend in the scene?
Yeah, all of like the XC9 guys, I'd say pretty close. We spent like a year living in a house, but I've known Zelsis for basically a decade now. So it's like, I've, gotten very close with him, and he's just a fun person to be around and a good friend.
hmm I know that a lot of people, they say that he really brings the vibes to the team. Keeps spirits up. Who would you say is that guy on G2?
I'd say Valen is, to be honest. I'd say like Trent's kind of like the second person, and then like I maybe like the third, like depending on like what happens in the game. Me and Trent can swap, but mainly just Valen. And I think that's a good trait of like a leader.
hmm So looking forward to your next matchup. You guys got Furia coming up, and then Leviathan, MIBR, and Loud after that. So kind of,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the upcoming schedule for you guys?
Um, it's a lot of South American teams, but and South American players, because obviously Lev is like half and half. But
Mhm.
we're always going to be confident. I think that this game was probably one of the hardest in our group. I think Loud will be the next hardest. Lev is like depends on like Aspis, unironically. Like I think he's just a force to be reckoned with, but for that game, I think we just shut him down. And a lot of it is just we need to focus on what we can control and like ourselves, and like that's like our comms and our decision making and our plans and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty confident with all
Cool. So that's all the questions I had for you. Anything else you'd like to add?
of them. No, buy the G2 bundle.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.